Oh, Garfield again is still beefing with someone on Discord. If you're beefing this hard with someone on Discord, you need to go outside. I'm cosplaying hard. Let's just do like the speedrun glitch where I just type in the number 14 in chat. Alright, well, DM's open. I'm 14, trading with girls 14 to 15. Now, he does seem banned. Same with this person. Oh, nope, they're not banned. They're still in here, looking to trade with girls 14 plus or older women, also rating. How is the server still up, my guy? Now, I want to answer the question, who are the type of people that are playing these Roblox condo games? And after we took a good look at the people in chat, I think I have a pretty good idea. This is going to come as a surprise to no one. There's predators on these servers. In fact, someone contacted me about a Roblox condo server and how they were exposing someone in a Google document for being a predator. You would not believe my surprise. It was non-existent. But a less obvious group of people that are on these Roblox condo servers are Discord e-gangsters. These teenagers who have an overinflated ego, they think they're the best, and it's usually accompanied by a whole bunch of either racism, because again, to be hood, you gotta say the N-word apparently, and whether that be in Roblox chats or as the key to a Roblox condo game, or these people just like being edgy. I'm so edgy, guys, I'm a gangster. I do want to say though that the least gangster thing I've ever seen someone do is playing a Roblox game. But mixed in between, you have some really down bad, delirious teenagers, or just, unfortunately, young female teenagers that are looking for attention. And to be honest, I've tried a little bit of digging, and I tried to find specific condo servers that are 18 plus. This one says we are strictly 18 plus, and if you are found to be underage, you will be banned. Yet, it's hard to take any of these guys seriously when you look at their server announcements, and they have a whole Google document, a chronology that has the word United East Server District Court, Southern District of Discordia. And it is a multi-page Google document talking about how some people are predators or how some people cause drama or share DMs. And I have to blur all this because there's also images of Roblox people doing the naughty. They write out this whole Google Drive and then they send this picture. At the end of the day, it's just Discord. Yet I've scrolled through 20 pages of these people exposing someone. Yeah, I hate myself. But the main thing is looking at these condos. With these servers, instead of you having to like worry about where to find the newest condos, all you have to do is join the server and they will automatically give you condos to play while they get uploaded. Discord is being used as a tool to perpetuate these condo games, and Discord is doing nothing to ban these servers. In fact, things get even worse because there are servers specifically made to generate condos. And this is specifically how Discord is making the problem worse. Because when one of those condos gets taken down, there are servers that will automatically make a new condo game for you. Your game will be public with a server size of 2. And you could get premium to upload private games with a custom server size. And since we're talking about getting premium, I think it's time to answer the question, why do people make these condo games? Now, initially when I first heard about Roblox condos, I assumed that the people that are making these games and doing all the coding for them and hosting them and constantly re-uploading them, I thought these were either predators trying to find victims, or maybe it's just some people that are really mentally f***ed up. And it turns out my mental well-being is saved, because the reason why people are doing this is, of course, to somewhat make money in any capacity. And in fact, just from the single message, there are two ways that these people are trying to make money. First, if I go to the loot-link.com link, anytime someone clicks on one of these links and goes through this whole entire thing, either downloads an app or allows notifications, the people that are running these Roblox condos get paid money. But if you are a serious degenerate that wants to play Roblox condos, you can get premium, which allows you to have no cooldowns and no ads, and it only costs $8 on PayPal, 1,500 Robux, or $7 in Bitcoin. But these people also try to make money in a handful of other ways. I'm on this server here. For their condo generator, they make you buy tokens. To generate a server, you need to spend 200 Robux to get one, 600 for 5, or 10 for 1,000 Robux. They also have a Select shop if you want to buy with money, which, again, I hope all these transactions get, like, forwarded to some therapist company so they can give these people fucking therapy. But it goes a little bit further, because what you can do is you can buy roles. You could buy moderator for 750 Robux, admin for $5, or 1,000 Robux, head admin for $10, or 1,500 Robux, which means you can, use admin to, like, no clip into other people's condos and watch what they're doing? What the Using my secret techniques of spying on people, I've determined that most condo makers, on average, make between $500 to $1,000 a month if they have some sort of crazy monetization scheme like this. And for anyone that's considering this, just keep in mind, a normal job flipping burgers at McDonald's would make you more money. And you wouldn't be helping out predators on Discord and Roblox. You can actually sleep at night and you get free food. And while we're talking about money, it's also time to talk about the scam, because there are creeps that do get scammed. For example, this is a Discord server called El Condo. But if you were a down bad delirious person and you wanted to look for the condo and you visited the Uploads channel, there's a furry update and more. There's voice chat. And to visit this condo, all I need to do is pull up here. When you click on this link, it's going to take you to a completely different website. And when you visit the website, hello? Okay, so the website isn't working, but it takes you to roblox.tl. This is a fake Roblox login page. It's a phishing page. I talked about this in way more detail in my Roblox scam generator video, but this server is a scam. But the craziest scam I've seen from Roblox condos actually comes from one of my viewers. I was in some Discord server where people gather, but even though it's kind of a socializing server, there was an NSFW category where people usually partner up. I'm pretty sure you have an idea of what I'm talking about. Okay, so this guy is a certified gooner or a predator, and one person was talking about some free condo generator. So I got the link to it and I opened it. I was kinda dumb. That's a very polite way to put it. He just got his computer hacked, and in fact, the people that hacked his computer added him to a group chat and sent him a picture of his face through his webcam, and then started extorting him for money. For the absolute idiots that are watching this that think that's a good idea, it's not. So let's get to the final question. What is Discord doing about these condo servers? Considering I can go on my Discord account, type in condo, and I see a whole bunch of Roblox games, considering I can still see this and these servers are 2 or maybe 3 years old, I'm going to make a very calculated guess that Discord is going to do nothing about this unless my video changes something, which I doubt. So at the end of the day, we have people that are making money off of Roblox adult content games. We have Discord making money because people are boosting all these servers, which you can't deny, Discord is profiting off of this. And I swear to God, if this video doesn't change anything at all, I don't even know. At this point, like, I could talk about predators on Discord and it wouldn't even matter, because if they can't solve such an easy thing to fix like this, then there's almost zero hope for Discord actually protecting kids. But anyways, at this point, my faith in humanity is very low. And if you play one of these condo games, you should seek therapy because you need it. And for everyone else, thank you for being a normal human being. Bye-bye, I love you. Despite me being hungover, I'm actually the happiest basement-dwelling loser on the planet right now, because Discord is finally getting rid of their gaming guild feature. Now, just these 4 simple letters that spell out something I love in my mouth right now, these 4 letters created a $100,000+ Discord black market, because there were idiots that would actually spend money just to have the 4 letters next to their name. But with this black market, it also caused thousands of people to be scammed. And now that Discord is getting rid of it, the stupid Discord e-gangsters who paid money to have this are in shambles. But just to make things even better, Discord is giving everyone some of the gaming guild features without at the end. But this is the rise and beautiful fall of Discord gaming guilds. Now, you'd think this would be some sort of documentary. No, I don't got the time for that right now. Again, hungover. Now, if you don't know what Discord gaming guilds are, you probably don't, because Discord did a horrible job at explaining it to anyone, but you've seen it before, the 4 letters next to someone's name. Now, what you're supposed to do is click on it and be like, wow, these people are very competitive gamers. But this is the first feature of gaming guilds, but the second primary feature of gaming guilds is that when you try joining one of them, you need to fill out an application, like what games you play, if you have money to spend on e-girls and Valorant, the typical gamer stuff. But the third primary feature of guilds is that you can only have a maximum of 200 members, which makes no sense at all. If you want your Discord server to only have 200 people, you could just turn off invites or kick people from the server. Now, I'm saying all this stuff, but let's be honest here. No one cares about gaming guilds. The only thing people care about are these 4 letters next to your name. In fact, this person managed to take a screenshot with their Etch-a-Sketch, and they drew a little arrow pointing to this FBI gaming guild tag. There are people that are pretending to be the FBI on Discord. Well, anyways, this person made a Reddit post asking, how do I get this? Everyone wanted this, and the important part about gaming guilds is the fact that this is an expensive experimental feature, which means Discord can get rid of it. And spoiler alert, that's what this whole fucking video is about. But the next important thing with these gaming guild clan tags, they're all the same name, is the fact that it's only available to a select number of servers. So let's get to the whiteboard for a second. This Nicole person, nobody. Bup, though, on the other hand, has something next to their name. They're special. A special thing on Discord, limited to a select number of servers. And ladies and gentlemen, just like that, the Discord black market emerged. In fact, just the simple feature made Discord's worst black market. You see, there's a Discord black market for everything. In fact, people will spend money to get rare Discord usernames because they want to look cool. I'm gonna be honest, the people that buy this thing are the same people that get bullied at your school. People will also spend thousands of dollars for a Discord badge. So they'll buy someone's account just to get a Discord badge. Yes, those pixels right there, thousands of dollars. You'll buy a sick-ass gaming computer for that price, but no, I want pixels on my Discord profile. And the final Discord black market involves Discord invite links. Like, for example, people will spend like hundreds of dollars so that when you type in discord.gg/feet, their server pops up. Now, there's one thing I want in my mouth right now, and it's not the feet that are shown in this banner. It's something that rhymes with leech. But those were all of Discord's normal black markets until these guild tags came out. In fact, there were Discord servers specifically made for these clan tags. How many people are in the server? I'm just going to show it on screen. I don't even want to look at it because if I look at the number and I read off of it while I'm doing this voiceover recording, I'm probably just going to end the recording and go outside. I'm going to do you a solid and give you more brain rot so you can understand this better, but there's this person here who owns 58 Discord guild tags. Now, we have this person here who said, holy sh**, I feel like I just met 5 celebrities with fear replying to me. Yeah, if someone had 58 Discord servers, they were seen as a celebrity on Discord. Since people wanted these clan tags, these Discord servers would start doing giveaways for the privilege of having Aura next to your name. And the worst part is that 10,000 people joined this giveaway. 10,000 people. People want them so bad that to invite you into the Discord server that will give you the clan tag, they will sell you access. This person's selling access to 20 people for $5 PayPal. And these people are my favorite because the emoji here is Fed, and their clan tag is also Fed. These people are LARPing as the feds. I can imagine these guys get home from school. Their mom's like, oh, how was school today, honey? Mom, I got bullied again. I don't want to talk about it. And slam their door, go into their room. They open up Discord. You guys don't want to mess with the bad boy on Discord because I'm Fed. You know that fear person? Yes, I did get DM'd by a celebrity because I asked them, how much is it to join a guild? And it's 15 euros for a 1-month access and 50 euros for permanent access. I can pay this dude 50 euros so I can have whatever this is in my name, a privilege. But here's the thing, right? When I go on Instagram, it's filled with Andrew Tate wannabes taking out a credit card loan and going to Dubai to rent a Lamborghini to pretend they're rich to the 1 or 2 girls that follow these people on Instagram. And for me, why hustle over 50 euros when instead, what if I sell the Discord server that has the clan tag? In fact, this server's so bad, Discord's refusing to load it. Oh, there we go. So yeah, what if instead of selling access, I sold the Discord server? How much would that cost me? It's a lot worse than you think. I found this person here who was selling cool guild servers. Again, these people are definitely kids that get bullied. This person is selling their Discord server with the name Rich. So it shows Rich next to your Discord username. So you can flex to all the kittens you talk to, which are also just dudes pretending to be girls to get money from you stupid suckers. Trust me, that's how I make all my money. And they're selling the server for $1,000. I didn't stutter there. $1,000. Now you and I, let's just talk on our podcast for a second. If someone's spending $1,000 on a Discord server, there better be a good reason why. Maybe they're the only people that could have the Rich name next to their name, because if you're first, you get to claim the name, right? That makes sense for $1,000. Well, according to Discord's FAQ, are these guild tags unique? No. And just to show you, there's a website that shows a whole bunch of these Discord claims, and these people will like submit their own to advertise, and there's 8 servers with meow. So these people are spending $1,000 so they can put whatever 4 letters next to their name that they want. But here's the kicker, right? If you, like me, know the Discord Bible front to back, thou shalt not talk to e-girls and give them nitro. But in the Discord community guidelines, they specifically say do not sell or purchase Discord assets, including accounts, usernames, servers. Discord could, if they wanted to, ban this server and make this person completely lose their $1,000 offer. And considering this person right here is telling me they are selling access to the server, I could report this message, and this person should get banned. Right? Well, here's the thing. however many months ago, I think like 7 months ago, I made a video talking about this new Discord black market when it was just slowly emerging. And I showed Discord that people were selling access to Discord servers. I actually pointed out this exact person. I've duped them twice. I've DM'd them twice. Yet Discord did absolutely nothing about it. And since Discord wasn't banning any of these Discord Andrew Tate wannabe goofs, the black market just got worse, and it became the most degenerate cesspool I've ever seen. It's actually beautiful because it's time for the black market degeneracy title card. And the subtitle is, I lose my will to continue after I read bat insane Discord messages. Well, one of my viewers got reached out by this person here, which I can barely read their name because fonts look cool on Discord. But one of my viewers got reached out because this person wanted to buy their RLG gaming guild. Now, since it's against the terms of service to sell one of these guilds, Barf had an idea. It's against the terms of service to sell, but it's not against the terms of service to trade. So what if I was to trade you IPTV or something in trade? Then it's not sold to someone, and it's fine. Now, I've tried that same logic against the CRA, and then I had to spend $5,000 worth of fees. IPTV is global live TV channels, including pay-per-views and channels from all over the world. This guy asked, theoretically, I could watch Family Guy on my TV without a Disney minus subscription. Correct. So the business plan is don't break Discord's community guidelines by selling the server, but instead break the law by doing illegal IPTV piracy. Brilliant. Now, as the Discord black market got bigger and thicker, the kingpins of the Discord market started to expand their turf and their gang. The Discord black market got a LinkedIn upgrade, and they started having recruiters. Your job is to hunt for Discord gaming guilds. And once you find a potential guild, you need to send a direct message to the owner and offer them between $100 to $150 for their Discord gaming guild. But if you manage to find one of these Discord gaming guilds and make one of those Discord people have another guild so that they're more popular and internet clout or something, I think I'm too old for this at this point. But if you find one of those gaming guilds, your reward is $10 for your effort. Do all the hard work for me and receive $10. Now, these guys are thinking like Jeff Bezos here. Thank goodness there's no union here, or else I have to make some propaganda for it. And these people treated this like an actual job. Inactive guild hunters will be ejected out of the team. You can get fired from your Discord job. But if you're a hardworking employee and you increase that shareholder value, you get the opportunity of a lifetime, mind you, by having the opportunity of staying in their Discord gaming guilds as permanent spots. Except here's the thing, you know these permanent spots? That's a lie. Because since Discord wasn't banning any of these servers, all of them just started scamming a bunch of people. And I had to deal with it. This was my own eternal hell for like the last 6 months. I'm coming to you for help on shutting down a guild scam operation. Over the past few weeks, he has been selling guilds with paid members in them, scamming the members of their guild tag. I want this scammer to be stopped. He's scamming people that will spend money to join a Discord server. And this is also coming from someone that has the clan tag of staff. Yeah, these people are LARPing as Discord staff, and they're paying money for it. This Jason kid has in true scam fashion. All I have to do is try to In fact, this person got banned for the reason, don't try accusing like a poor whore. I was dealing with the drama from the same idiots that would spend money on these clan tags, and it just keeps on continuing over and over again. They're talking about a person named Jason. Now, who gives a shit about Jason? It's just another loser who has Discord guilds. But he also has a girlfriend, so we have 2 losers in the equation. But the way that the scamming would work is that they would sell that permanent access entry to people for $5 each. And then big old Jason here will sell those Discord servers to people without telling anyone for $1,000, or $1,000 is pretty high, let me be honest. The things that I've seen is that people are selling these servers between like $450 to $850. But what would happen is that he would sell the Discord guild, and then you would get kicked because the people that are buying the guild are like, I just spent $500 on a Discord server. I have plenty of regrets in my life. I'm gonna kick everyone. So that permanent access that you paid for is not permanent. You got scammed. In fact, I hate to get emotional here, but one of my viewers got scammed, and he sent this this really sad and depressing DM to someone. I bought a permanent spot in the Long Guild, and now I notice it's gone. Can I get a refund? Hello? I know people in guilds are scamming. I genuinely was told everything. I've had people that were like snitching on the operation. This person here, ditching, their name should just be snitching. They're a lead manager inside of that server. They've been for a while. There's a, and I quote, a ton of crap. The most descriptive thing. But we're on Discord. Wait. Where are the predators? Now, for legal sake, I'm not wasting my time in confirming whether or not these people are predators. I'm just reading what these morons have sent me. Within the guild selling community recently, large accusations have come out against a former partner named Chloe. Along with this, there's been... The wrong theirs just tripped me up. There's been countless evidence that these claims are true that have been posted. Chloe's side of the story is made up from edited screenshots that are trying to slander innocent people within the community. As if I gave a fuck. I do not. Chloe has been exposed for scamming hundreds of dollars, along with potentially having illicit content of minors on a private server. And mind you, Chloe is over the age of 18. She has also threatened to post anyone's info who excuses people cannot spell. Also, she uses the fact that her supposed ex-boyfriend had access to Chloe's PayPal, when in fact, she never had a boyfriend and used it as a cover-up. You know things are bad when there's a YouTube video exposing Discord guild that's gatekeeping predators, and the most heinous crime of gatekeeping the Juice WRLD 999 tag. Absolutely disgusting. But really, the most important thing, getting back on topic and giving you some actual information, is that the problem was so bad. Scamming, predators, drama, all this garbage. I cut down 90% of it, by the way. But things got so bad that this person here got their account limited because they joined a Discord server that broke Discord's rules for Discord asset sales. So, believe it or not, Discord did ban a server, and this person is excited about being warned on Discord. They say it's a massive W that they got their account limited. That's how bad the problem was, that this person is excited that Discord punished their account. And when things were good, it just gets even better. Because Discord got the 25 kill streak and dropped a nuke on the entirety of the Discord black market. When I heard this news, I was actually happy for once. But Discord updated their guild's FAQ page, and they said the guild's experiment will be ending in the coming weeks and will no longer be available. However, certain features from the guild's experience may continue as standalone experiments. Now, I'll tell you what those experiments are at the end, but since most people aren't going to look at a Discord FAQ page, Discord also sent a DM to every single person that owns one of these servers saying, "Hello server admins, your Discord server," and they'll list the server, was part of the guild's experiment, and the guild's experiment is ending soon and will no longer be available in the coming weeks. When I read this announcement, I heard holy music in my ears as it ushered me to continue reading through all these messages of people crying and complaining, and with people spending thousands of dollars for these guild servers and people spending up to $100 just to join them because they kept on getting scammed and they don't learn from their lesson, I experienced every stage of grief across this board. It was angelic. It brought a tear to my eye. When people were spending thousands of dollars on servers, this person is now buying it for $50. Then we see acceptance from their message. I wish tags get public, at least like early supporter. Everyone has a chance to get it, then it stops. It will be fair at least. This person wants these clan tags to stay in Discord and only and they want it so that everyone has a chance to get it, only for a limited time, so they can still feel special about themselves. In fact, I think the main thing that I see in terms of the stages of grief is that people are just still in denial and they're still trying to sell access. This is today. This is February 15th. Like, this is well past the announcement. These people are still trying to sell access to these servers for $10. Or if you guess their My Little Pony character they're thinking about, you can get the tag. God, these guys are creatures. This fear person, they just got their whole career canceled. He was the goat of his generation. That's his own pronoun. He put this on his own profile. The egoism is insane. They're going through denial because they're not even saying anything about the guilds being canceled. They're just dropping new ones. They're pretending nothing happens because life is better when you just block out reality and you pretend nothing bad happened. Man, I don't even want to talk about the next thing. I just love seeing these people complain and cry. But let's talk about the most important thing about this feature, because in Discord's own announcement, they say, we know you love some of the features and we're working on bringing them back. I'm going to tell you what I think Discord is personally keeping, and I'm going to try and make it clear which stuff I can objectively say Discord is keeping, because there are things that have been leaked. But one feature that will not be returning with Discord guilds is the member limit. I've already talked about how stupid it was. That 200 member limit, I have seen nothing about it. Objectively, unless Discord decides to change it out of spite, because I said objectively, that's gone. And now for the rest of the features, we're looking in Discord experiments. Now, there's the Guild Settings Foundation revamp, and there's the member verification rollout. But in terms of those gaming guilds, I showed you at the beginning of the video that when you try joining one of these guilds, you need to fill out an application. And in one of those experiments, Discord does have this option where you can have the server as invite only, discoverable, or you can have people apply to join the server. This feature, I can really confidently say that Discord is working on it. In fact, 10% of Discord servers right now have the option to turn on applications to join your server. Again, it's an experiment, so Discord can change it or remove it, but so far, this is one of the features that Discord is likely to keep. But now we're moving more towards a little less concrete, because if I scroll to the top of my Discord server list, there's tags there. Discord does have this profile feature, which allows you to customize your server's banner or banner colors, and you have traits where you can show off your server's interest and personality. But the customization you can do for your server is very similar to what you can customize when you click on someone's clan tag. Now, I've been saving this till the very end. But the thing that everyone is asking about, Discord guild tags. Are those 4 letters next to your name going to be released to everyone? So the black market disappears, and now everyone has the option of putting Fed next to their name so they can pretend they're actually a cool person that doesn't get bullied in school. And right now, ladies and gentlemen, we have nothing. When I click on tag, nothing shows up. Objectively speaking, right now, I do not know what's going to happen. But in my personal opinion, as someone that has talked about Discord for 3 years, I feel like I can read Discord's mind like a fucking genius. I think Discord removed the feature specifically because of the black market. People were making money on Discord off of this feature. And that doesn't make sense, because Discord should be the one making money. I honestly think every single Discord server will have the option of making one of these clan tags if their Discord server is boosted, because right now server boosting has been pretty boring. We haven't gotten any updates. Discord is working on an experiment where like you might be able to pick certain features, kind of like a shop, but I honestly think Discord will probably have maybe a level 4 boost, or they'll revamp boosting altogether, where you have to boost a Discord server, which by the way, it costs money to do so. So you have to give Discord money to get these clan tags. Because why should these Discord e-gangsters who pretend to be cool when in reality they're far from it, why should they make money when Discord should be the one making the money? Anyways, Discord, I'll be invoicing you for my business consulting skills, $10 million. And if Discord pays that invoice, this will be my last YouTube video before I disappear into the Bahamas. But for now, I'm just going to day drink in my basement on a lawn chair in front of my TV with stock footage of a beach on it. Cheers, everyone. I love you. Mwah! Discord has changed a lot recently, for better or for worse. We have this new UI that everyone 100% totally loves. We have nameplates, and we have feet photos in the shop. Things aren't looking too good right now, but I do have a handful of new and leaked Discord features, and I'm going to answer the question whether or not they're just a disgusting, greedy cash grab by Discord to try and get your money. Now, before I get to those cash grab features, I have 2 massive elephants in the room I need to talk about. We have the April Fool's event, and we have Discord's new UI. I am working on a video to fix Discord's new UI. There is a way to go back to Discord's old UI, but it's broken, and it gets worse every single day. Yesterday, it was acceptable. I probably could make a video about it. Today, half of the chat isn't even on the screen, so I'm working on a more permanent way of fixing the problem, but for now, you guys are just gonna have to thug it out. But during this week, Discord released their April Fool's event. If you open up Discord, you should have seen this notification saying the last meadow. Travel across the lands, and when you click on it, it's an April Fool's joke. Discord tells you to play this game. They have this big trailer about it that looks like it's gonna be an epic RPG world exploration thing, and then when you click on the game, it's cookie clicker, but you just touch grass. And as you continue playing the game, it gets injected with 1,000 memes and a whole bunch of pop-ups where there's enough things on your screen where if you're playing on your grandmother's Windows XP computer that you used to play Freddy Fish 3 when you were a child, that thing would blow up. Thank goodness, though, Grandma wouldn't be mad because she's dead. But you have until April 7th to play this game, and the only reason why you would play it is because once you finish it, you earn an avatar decoration of you touching grass. Horrifying. But don't worry, that avatar decoration expires on May 1st. Anyways, this April Fool's joke was greatly received by Reddit. Just with this pop-up ad, people had conspiracy theories up the wazoo. If you had anything to do with the last meadow, please know you've made today a little worse for so many people by helping Discord spam paying Nitro all users with ads, a mandatory pop-up. And now that we understand the average intelligence of a Discord user, it is a perfect time to start looking at Discord's cash grab features. Well, let's start off with our first Discord cash grab, the nameplates feature. Now, you might not know what a nameplate is, but you sure as hell seen it. If you look in your member list, some people have this weird background next to their name. Now, this shows up both in the member list, also in your DMs, and if you buy your own nameplate, it will show up in the bottom left here by your profile. At the time of recording, 10% of people have the ability to buy one of these. And how do you know if you're in that 10%? Well, if you open up Discord, you should get this pop-up saying, "New nameplates featured." And thank goodness I had like 30 different Discord alt accounts because only one of them had this feature. But if you're one of those oh so lucky 10% of people that can give Discord money, you should have the option to buy these nameplates in the shop for $6 for an animated background next to your name, or $5 if you have Discord Nitro. You can save money on this by giving Discord more money. Now, at the time of recording, there are 8 different nameplates that you can purchase. However, I do want to point out that there is a website called yapper.shop that allows you to see Discord leaks and everything in the shop, and it turns out they found some unreleased nameplates, stuff like Kitsune. And the reason why I'm talking about these leaked nameplates is that there was a way to buy these leaked nameplates. So if you look on Discord, some people do have these, but unfortunately, it got patched. So no cool tutorial from me. I'm sorry. To wrap up nameplates are going to split Discord users into 2 different camps. Some people like customizing their profile and spending $5 to do so. That's completely fine. But for me as an old person that's balding, when I open up the member list and I see a whole bunch of colors that makes me think I'm watching a CoComelon video, to me, I'm not a fan. It's just a bunch of visual clutter. I like things being simple because my eyes are malfunctioning. But again, I do want to tease that new UI video that I'm working on. There is a way to turn off these nameplates. So subscribe to that. But I think it's time to take a look at our second cash grab. You see, in a previous video, I talked about Discord working on a new boosting system where you boost the Discord server, you can unlock some additional perks. And sir, the second Discord leak has hit Discord previews, which I'll have linked in the description. But what they data mined is this picture here. So that original one that I showed you with all like the lorem ipsum gooble gobble in it, there's now a new version where we get to see what the text actually says. Now, you can use some of your Discord boost to buy specific perks, and the 2 that we're aware of right now are enhanced row colors and server tags. Oh yes, baby, they're back. So taking a look at these enhanced roll colors, these are animated gradients. So instead of a solid color next to your name and chat or in the member list, it's going to be some rainbow that is animated, the colors shift a little bit. And since these are animated, that means more is going to be slowing down your computer. And it's also that Discord can get more boosts. But if you like it, buy Nitro and boost a server. If you don't like it, don't buy Nitro, don't boost a server. Vote with your wallet. That is the most rational thing I can say today. That and I should be lobotomized at some point. But the next thing of these additional perks is the server tag, or clan tag. Now, just like every good movie, I had a 3-part saga about Discord clan tags. To give you a recap, Discord had this feature where if you owned a clan server, you could have a couple letters next to your name in every single chat across Discord. And most people just have some edgy things because they wanted to pretend they were a special Discord e-gangster. They're special in my hearts for being so f***ing stupid. But this feature was released to a small number of Discord servers, and since it was rare, that created a massive Discord black market. When people were selling access, they would charge you a fee just to join their server so you could get this clan tag. And they'd also sell those servers, and there were thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars exchanged between people. And Discord said, not on our watch. And they so that they can make it something that everyone else can get if you just give Discord money by boosting a server. Now, is this a cash grab? And interestingly enough, I'm switching up my opinion here because realistically, I don't think this feature is a cash grab at all because there were people that were spending thousands and thousands of dollars unofficially to get letters next to their name in Discord. Discord would have to be stupid business-wise not to turn this into a feature that will get them money. And for everyone else that does not give a shit about 5 letters next to their name in Discord, they'll be like, okay, I'm just not going to give Discord money. This really isn't a cash grab feature and more Discord making smart business decisions in my opinion. And that trend actually continues. Discord is adding DM wallpapers. Now, if I turn on this experiment and I go to my DMs, you can see that you can customize your chats by adding a DM wallpaper. Now, the elephant in the room. Yes, you will need Discord Nitro to set a DM wallpaper. Now, unfortunately, this experiment doesn't work, so right now we have a mock-up by Discord Previews where they just made their own DM wallpaper to show you how it might look. Now, unfortunately, gamers, I have some bad news for you. You see, in every single WhatsApp group chat I'm in, I am the little that changes the chat wallpaper to be the most obscene imaginable. Family group chat, perfect spot to put a massive dog on. And the bad news that I have comes twofold. Now, the first bit of bad news actually applies to everyone. It's the fact that you can set your own custom wallpaper. Discord has a whole bunch of presets with names like After Hours, perfect for your ego, and Aura, something I have absolutely none of. But as it stands now, it seems like Discord will not give you the option to have a custom wallpaper. Well, the second unfortunate thing for little heads like me, but probably a good thing for everyone else, is the fact that the person that you're DMing can just turn off the wallpaper. You can see in this little data mine piece of text, it said, you hid the wallpaper name DM wallpaper. This change is only visible to you. So if your friend keeps on changing the DM wallpaper to like something that's basically impossible to read, you can turn it off. But to wrap up DM wallpapers, it is not a cash grab. It's an extra feature if you buy Discord Nitro, so just more bang for your buck. If you're someone that's annoyed by it, you can just turn it off so it doesn't affect you if you don't buy Discord Nitro. And since we're talking about Discord Nitro, the next feature, which some people might call it, actually some people on Reddit have called this a cash grab, brain damage. But the feature I'm talking about is Discord's new recent avatar feature, where if you change your Discord avatar, some people have this, for some reason I don't, but if you try changing your Discord avatar, Discord will show you your last 2 recent avatar uploads, so you can just switch your profile back and forth. And according to Reddit, this free feature is a cash grab because you can unlock 4 more slots if you buy Discord Nitro, which in my opinion, this feature isn't really even useful for me. If I want to change my profile, I just go to my file explorer and then I just grab the image I want to change it to. Calling it a cash grab is, you don't have to buy it. You can just stick with 2 or just upload files from your computer like a normal person. But on the bright side, Discord doesn't seem too greedy right now. And that's because I haven't told you about the greedy features yet, because I'm feeding in another Discord badge. Yeah, there's a new Discord badge coming. To give you some background, Discord gets paid by game developers or for some reason movie and TV show studios to promote their product in Discord. So you can watch a movie trailer and get a reward. And to be honest, most of these rewards are mid as what am I playing Viva Pinata on the Xbox 360 again? And since most people don't care about these avatar decorations, Discord has been working on something called orbs. Now, orbs are basically points that you can earn when you complete a quest, and you can use those orbs to buy stuff in the Discord orb exclusive shop. Now, I'm back on the Yapper.shop webpage, but what we know so far with Discord orbs is the fact that you can buy fractional nitro, so you can buy nitro for 3 days, or the elephant in the room, you can buy a Discord profile badge. And taking a look at the data mined by Discord Previews, you can see that there's going to be a badge in your profile that when you hover over, it will say Orbs, Apprentice, and you can use orbs to earn yours. Now, theory crafting for a second. Since the badge says Apprentice, it seems like you should be able to spend more orbs to upgrade your Discord badge, which seems like a and pointless cash grab to make you complete more quests. And that's because it is. Just to give you some context, there are people called Discord badge goblins. And typically these are the same people that struggle to fill out their times tables. There are also people that will spend thousands of dollars to buy a Discord account with a badge. Despite how stupid this looks, it's gonna be successful. But taking a look at this in the greed perspective, this isn't too much of a cash grab. You aren't spending your money to buy a Discord badge. That might come in like 2 or 3 years from now. But completing Discord ads to get these orbs so that you can upgrade your Discord badge on your profile seems really pointless, especially when there's already a Discord badge for completing a quest. I don't know at this point, man. But don't worry, because my confusion just gets even more confusing, because speaking of quests, Discord has their Nitro Quest Extender perk. Now, I want to point out that this is very much experimental. I have not heard of anyone talk about this, but those earned quest avatar decorations of Viva Pinata Fortnite collaboration, typically you can use those avatar decorations for 2 months after you unlock them. But Nitro subscribers will gain an exclusive perk. You can keep those avatar decorations that you earned for longer. And in most cases, those previously expired decorations that you love, like our Jeff avatar decoration that people probably killed a whole bunch of innocent children for on Marvel Rivals, might become available again to use. Now, some people are going to go absolutely buck wild for this, but taking a step back and not being a Discord dweeb for a second, you give Discord money with a Nitro subscription so that the rewards you get, avatar decorations, for completing completing a quest, which gives Discord money because it's an ad, those avatar decorations will now last for longer. So you give Discord money so that when you give Discord money, you get rewarded for longer. What in the absolute is going on? And well, gamers, that's enough stupid for me today. And with that, I'm gonna go off the computer, because after being bullied by you guys in my April Fool's video for having a receding hairline, I'm gonna shave my head, become bald, and cry myself to sleep. Night night, gamers. I love you. Mwah! Discord falsely banned a bunch of people, not once, but twice, just in the last month, too. And while everyone says it's AI's fault, what if I told you it might be something worse? Now, I'm going to talk about two cases where Discord live leak executed a bunch of people's Discord accounts. So first, on December 19th, 2024, Discord banned all of Germany for spam, and it was because of some anti-botnet security thing that was out of whack. It's some nerd shit. The only reason why I'm talking about it is that it's just funny that it happened in the first place. And that's why there's a sequel, because the second ban Discord did is the good old Marvel Rivals Discord server ban. Now, I'm focusing on the second ban because it involves good old AI. On January 8th, 2025, a bunch of Marvel fans got banned off Discord. Their whole life was ruined. No Discord means no e-girlfriends. We can see that this person here had it happen to me now, and they got suspended on Discord for child safety. Now, the thing with Discord and being banned for child safety is that it's one of, if not the worst possible reasons for being banned off Discord, because Discord will ban you for child safety if you send CP or CSAM content. Discord will also ban you for child safety if you try grooming someone. And finally, you'll get banned for child safety if you are a teenager or a minor partaking in some adult activities. So if you are willingly putting this sort of content on the internet to make some sort of money, because people actually do that, and my will to live just tanks. While I was hoping that this was Discord banning a bunch of predators and cleaning up Discord for good, it wasn't, because half of Discord would be banned. But eventually, after a couple hours, people figured out why people got banned. For example, this Twitter user said, getting permabanned for forwarding this from your Discord server is crazy, and they're talking about a Marvel Rivals announcement. In fact, specifically, it's this announcement here, which I would show you in the Discord server, but it got deleted because it got people banned. Hopefully that's obvious. But it's just an announcement video for a cosmetic skin in Marvel Rivals. And looking at the reactions, you could see why people are gonna spend the $20 to buy the skin. Please go outside. But eventually, everyone figured out that if you forward or share the Invisible Woman Malice skin, Discord's own AI will flag it as CP and will ban you permanently. Now, I have a riveting question that I came up with in 1 second. But how in the absolute did Discord's AI think that this was CP? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I know more about Discord than I do about flirting with women. And baby girl, there's a theory on Reddit that we need to pillow talk about. Jesus Christ, that hurt to say. Why did I even write that? So people are theorizing that a bunch of trolls reported the video as CP, and since enough of them reported it to Discord for CP, Discord's AI mods assumed that it was in fact CP, and consequently what happened is that everyone that forwarded or shared the video got automatically banned. What I heard through the Discord grapevine is that this is just not true. What I've heard is that Discord's AI moderation does not take in other people's reports as an input. So if you spam report something for CP, Discord's AI isn't going to assume it's CP. It's just like in the code, it's just not a thing. But if it's not people abusing the AI, then it must mean that Discord's whole entire AI system is just flat out horrible. And people on Reddit are theorizing that Discord's AI detection is just stupid and how they're blindly trusting the AI. And in reality, the reason why companies use AI, there's a whole bunch of reasons. Doing stuff with AI is a lot cheaper than hiring actual people to do the work. I feel like an actual human being would look at this video and say, oh yeah, that's not CP, and then none of this would have happened. And now I'll talk a little bit more about that, because but AI is not only about being cheap, if you're optimistic about it, it's also about scalability, because let's be honest, no one's dream job is to do moderation for Discord or for Facebook. The last thing you want to do is have your job where you come in every single day and have to look at CSAM. I'm pretty sure there's like YouTube documentaries on people that worked at Facebook, and to put it lightly, they wanted to kill. Their mental health was not the best. But if you think about it, Discord has millions of users on the platform every single day. How many messages get sent per day? How many images get uploaded per day? How many reports get made per day? Spoiler, it's this much just by averaging their transparency reports. So it's a lot. It's a lot more than you would have thought. Now, imagine human beings trying to work on that. It's nearly impossible. So that's why companies are investing in AI, because it can handle more data. But the caveat being, as long as there is a good system in place for handling reports of the false positives. We'll get to whether or not Discord unbans these people, but plot twist, what if I told you these Marvel rival child safety bans didn't happen because of AI? So Discord has this blog post called How We Leverage Machine Learning to Fight CSAM Content, or CP. And I want to point out, this is posted on Discord's own website. This is coming from Discord. But in the article, they explain how they use machine learning to stop people sending CSAM. So Discord has some sort of machine learning algorithm, which they don't even give you really any detail on. But the important thing is that when they find a match, when the AI thinks that the image that is being sent is CP, a human reviews it to verify if it is an instance of CSAM. A human reviews it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Let's Pretend We're a Discord Employee. This is the video that was sent in the Marvel Rivals Discord server, where if you forwarded it, you would get banned for child safety. Now, the first time I was about to watch this, the first comment I saw was Jarvis activate freak settings, and I realized, you know what? Maybe this actually is CP. But we're gonna YOLO it, and we're just gonna watch the video together. This is like them showing off the abilities, just video game gameplay. We're gonna speed that up a bit. How in the absolute is this CP? Is someone at Discord smoking crack? No, I'm kidding. That's too expensive for Discord to supply. Because remember what this dude on Reddit said, where AI stuff is cheaper than hiring actual people to do the work? I genuinely think that Discord changed their systems, and they decided to save a couple more dollars by making their whole entire CSAM system work on AI. Like, as a human being with a frontal lobe, I don't understand how a human could watch the video we watch and say, yep, that's CSAM. Let's ban every single person that has looked at that video. Like, at this point, it has to be AI. Like, come on, you can't excuse this. This is pathetic. And maybe Discord made it AI because, again, it's about scalability. Does Discord have such a large CP problem that they can't afford to hire real people to do the last check to see if this is actually CSAM content? Like, is the AI that bad where it sends like 50,000 messages to human beings where it's too much, they can't deal with it, so they use another AI to check the work? The AI is checking the shitty AI's work. How the fuck does any of this make sense? I feel like I'm smoking crack. And the worst part about this all is that if it is reported as CSAM, it's reported to the NCMEC and added to the PhotoDNA database. And this should be a given. I hate saying this every time because it makes me lose my will to live. But when companies flood the NCMEC, or when anyone floods the NCMEC with absolute garbage, it slows down the NCMEC actually helping kids that are in danger. And if companies are sending AI slop to the NCMEC, they are making the problem worse because they want to save money by using AI. But before you or I punch another hole in my desk, let's reel it back in. Let's just focus on Discord's AI. People would be more okay with this. I say okay, they wouldn't be fully accepting. They'd be okay with it as long as there's a good system in place for handling reports of the false positives. And so, what happened to everyone that got falsely banned by Discord's AI? Well, taking a look at the reply to this tweet, someone said, I appealed to Discord in the morning, and they just don't care. They sent this email to Discord, how they got banned for the Marvel Rivals thing, and Discord said, hello, your account was disabled for violating our terms of service or community guidelines. We will not reinstate the account. They also forgot to say, go yourself. And here's the thing, with all this false ban stuff happening, it's hard to take Discord seriously anymore. Because before all this happened, if you got a child safety ban, you were guaranteed a creep. I've had people complain to me that they got banned for child safety, and I would actually stalk their Discord account, and I would figure out that they were actually a predator. Being banned meant something. And now with this Marvel Rivals situation, when people get banned, there's just a really big chance that Discord systems are messing up because... And I think the worst part about this whole entire situation is the fact that real predators will be using this excuse saying, "It's the AI that got me, guys. I didn't try talking to kids." And people are going to buy it because being banned for child safety doesn't really mean much anymore. But I do want to say that, thankfully, Discord did realize that, oh, we banned a whole bunch of people, and eventually what ended up happening is that people got unbanned. So on your next login attempt or after a couple hours, Discord would send you a big beautiful email saying you are receiving this message because we detected suspicious activity on your account. Now, as far as I know, this email is completely irrelevant. Discord only sends this to you if you get your account unbanned, and it just tells you to change your password. So it's like, hey, your account actually works, and we also didn't admit that we up. So yay, we have a happy ending. No, we don't, because there's still two big problems with this. The first and arguably the biggest problem with all this AI stuff is that Discord only fixes their big AI mistakes. Almost every other day I get someone DMing me that they got falsely banned, or I see Reddit posts like this where someone got their account limited by Discord for something they did 4 years ago. On December 26th, a late Christmas gift from Discord, they got their account limited for breaking Discord's community guidelines for something 1,545 days ago, which coincidentally lines up with the exact same day they made their account. And when you check to see, what did you do? It doesn't tell you. And the reason why you got banned is for child safety. When Discord's AI randomly bans like 1 or 2 people, that's not enough people to cause a big uproar on Twitter or to get Discord's attention. So Discord doesn't like come in and save the day like they did with Marvel Rivals. They do nothing. And if you try taking matters into your own hands, you get this email again. And oh my goodness, folks, things get even better, because while I was editing this video, I decided to peruse Reddit and just see people complaining about this. And it turns out not everyone got unbanned. And this person got that response 2 days ago, and their account still isn't lifted. They're still banned. This person, still banned 2 days later. And there's this person, it's been over 4 days since my ban, and nothing happened. So yeah, no, this isn't like a situation that's all closed. It's not resolved. There are people that are still banned, and again, Discord is gonna do nothing because you can't appeal it. You just get Now, the second problem with Discord's AI doing Discord genocide is the fact that when you get banned on Discord, Discord will cancel your Nitro subscription and they won't give you a refund. And when you get unbanned from this mass ban wave, sometimes it will break your Nitro, where Discord literally scams you out of your Nitro. That's what I thought, but actually something good happened from Discord this time, because I was editing this video and there was a Reddit post talking about how someone got an email from Discord that says, "Dear username, we'd like to directly apologize for the recent issues regarding your Discord account, which resulted in a temporary ban. We'd like to give you 3 months of Discord Nitro as a thank you for your patience during this situation." Now, this tells me two things. First, I want to make it clear that I've covered Discord for like 2 to 3 years. I have never seen anything like this. It's good to see that Discord is like, we up, we're gonna take care of you. Whoever was working at Discord that made this happen, great job. But the second thing this shows me is that if they have to go to the extent of giving people free Nitro as like a sorry, then it means that maybe Discord did use AI, or there's something seriously wrong going on with their AI. But if you're, I guess if you're one of the lucky people that got banned, congratulations. Check your email because you have 3 months of Discord Nitro. And for the people that are still banned because of this Marvel Rivals thing, considering Discord is giving you free Nitro, please definitely contact Discord support. And I really hope that in the future, Discord pays attention to a lot of these smaller occurrences where the AI will just randomly ban people, because I think they also deserve some sort of compensation, or at least getting their Discord account back.
Anyways, gamers, that is all I got. I'm gonna go ask my Mima for $20 so I can be bricked up while playing Marvel Rivals. Bye-bye, I love you. Mwah!
data leaks, extortion, and 3 dead. This is the Discord incident and how one man got Discord banned in the entire country of Turkey. Now, this whole story is an accumulation of problems that happened throughout Turkey's recent history, and pertaining to this video, the most important problem with Turkey right now is femicides. Turkey, as well as a handful of other countries, have an increasing problem with violence against women, specifically murders against women, which are known as femicides. In fact, in just August of 2024 alone, 33 women were murdered by men and 24 died under suspicious circumstances in Turkey. And the reason why this is such a big problem is because back in 2011, there was something called the Istanbul Convention. Now, the Istanbul Convention is the first legally binding instrument which creates a comprehensive legal framework and approach to combat violence against women. The Istanbul Convention is designed and focused on preventing domestic violence, protecting victims, like providing women and children with specialist support services and shelter, and finally, the last thing of the Istanbul Convention is that it's focused on prosecuting accused offenders. And the way that they prosecute accused offenders is that they make stuff like stalking and psychological violence all the way up to sexual assault and honor killing all criminalized. So when you sign the convention, you add these as illegal things that you cannot do. And the thing with the Istanbul Convention is that back when it was signed in 2011, Turkey was actually the first country to sign the convention. Now, taking a look at this map, these are the countries in Europe that have done something with the Istanbul Convention. The countries in blue have signed and enforced the Istanbul Convention. The countries in purple have signed the Istanbul Convention, but they don't actually enforce the policies. And any orange or gray countries did not sign the Istanbul Convention. And you'll notice that Turkey is in red, and it's not for a good reason. Because on the 20th of March 2021, Turkey has unilaterally withdrawn from the Istanbul Convention. According to the current president of Turkey, the Istanbul Convention, which was originally intended to promote women's rights, was hijacked by a group of people attempting to normalize homosexuality. The Turkish president is saying that LGBT people are brainwashing people with the Istanbul Convention, and being part of the LGBT group is incompatible with Turkey's social and family values, which is why we decided to withdraw from protecting women as a whole, because apparently all women are gay according to Turkey. And Turkey withdrawing from the Istanbul Convention didn't make anything better, and that is the kindling that led to the incident. On October 4th, 2024, 3 people died. We have Sami Chalik, who is a 19-year-old male who worked as a butcher. We have Ayşe Nush Halil, a 19-year-old girl, and we have Iqbal Uzunov. My pronunciations are horrible, I apologize. So on this day at around 3:30 p.m., Sami went to Ayşe Nush's home, and after entering the home, he killed her by slitting her throat. Now, shortly after the first murder, Sami met with Iqbal near the historic city walls in Fatih. Now, there are images of Sami at the top of these walls that circulate around the internet, and what happened inside of these historic walls is that Sami decapitated and dismembered Iqbal's body. And as we will later see, this is fulfilling some sort of fantasy that Sami had. But after dismembering the body, Sami called the 19-year-old Iqbal's mother, claiming that her daughter's phone had fallen from the city walls. And as Iqbal's mother arrived on scene, hoping to retrieve the phone, Sami, with the decapitated head in hand, threw the dismembered head at Iqbal's mother, and then Sami soon after followed suit by jumping from the walls himself. During the investigation of this double murder suicide, it turns out that Sami had a history of psychological issues and some disturbing drawings. It turns out when the authorities were looking into this murder, Sami had a history of psychological problems and had been hospitalized 5 times over the past year due to mental health issues. And according to a police statement from Sami's father, he said, "When I entered the room, I saw drawings that resembled satanic figures. When I asked about them, he said, 'You wouldn't understand. Our generation's ways of thinking are different.'" And while police were searching the Chalik's residence, they found a notebook containing disturbing charcoal drawings of dismembered human figures, which eerily resemble how he committed the murders. Sami Chalik even had 3 prior criminal records and worked as a butcher, including these weird drawings, and also attempted self-bye-bye before. With all of these previous treatments at mental health hospitals, this was easily preventable. And instead of doing something that would actually protect women, they banned broadcasting the story about the murder, but it caused a public outrage. And on the next day, a whole bunch of men and women protested in front of the walls, claiming that Turkey needs to do something about the increasing femicide rates. And just to give you even more perspective on the situation, during this protest, 2 other murders happened against 4 women total. 6 women got murdered by men in a span of like 2 to 3 days. It's clear this is a pretty big fucking problem. And as tensions were rising, things got even worse, because it turns out during the investigation, it was revealed that Sami Chalik was in communication with people called incels on a messaging app. After the incident, the police decided to launch a major surveillance nationwide after there was a whole bunch of supportive and praising posts that were spread on the internet. But what this showed people is that there's not just one completely batshit insane dude out there. There were groups of people who were batshit insane thinking that violence against women because they're women was completely okay. Given that Turkey withdrew themselves from the Istanbul Convention, people didn't trust the fact that Turkish police or authorities were going to do anything in terms of surveillance and trying to find these people that are being supportive and praising these femicides. It turns out people took to Twitter to share information and try to figure out the people that are behind these incel groups that are saying that it's okay to murder women. And it turns out the people that are doing this would record them doing it and stream it on Discord. They are recording themselves committing a crime and then it would be shared on the internet. There are videos of them calling the authorities, basically swatting someone, where they intentionally get a massive police response at someone's house to either scare them or try to get them murdered by a cop. There are also videos of them directly calling victims and extorting them. There's videos of these people getting minors to get nude on camera and say things for some sort of sick, twisted sexual fantasy. They forced a minor girl to pour alcohol on their private parts and then set it on fire. And it turns out the way these people got extorted and the reason why these victims were following these orders from random dudes on the internet was because the Turkish government completely failed to protect these kids. Because it turns out back in 2016, there was an article talking how Turkish authorities are probing a huge ID data leak. Now, not much came of it until a couple years later, where Turkish citizens' data harvested from government portal are being sold on March 8th of 2024. Turkey had this kind of government portal thing where you were required as a citizen to upload information, and someone hacked into it, stole all of that data, and started selling it to people. It would be sold in a Telegram group for only 150 Turkish lira, or about 4.6 euros. And the data that you could get from buying this data breach are phone numbers, addresses, health records, bank information, business records. And the most worrying part about this is that this is not like a breach that happened. The data was being updated in real time, being actively harvested from eDevlet, which is Turkey's online government portal. And from the report, they said there was data that was shown as late as October 2023 on its homepage. And what malicious people would do is they would use this information to extort people with it. For example, with a phone number and address, these people would call individuals, tell them that they know where they live, and if you don't do what I say, I'm going to come to your house and kill you. But they'll also just say very simple stuff like, I'll call your parents and let them know what you're doing on the internet. That is enough to trick these kids into doing things like hurting themselves or hurting others or hurting their animals. And the worst part about this whole entire situation is that by a pretty big Turkish YouTuber, there was a video back in December 2022 talking about this data leak and how people are selling data and using it to extort people on Discord and on different social media platforms. He also showed that these people did credit card fraud, bought a whole bunch of fraudulent iPhones to resell them. These people were cyber criminals through and through and were found 2 years ago. But the problem just got worse because there was one video that was released that got the attention of almost everyone in Turkey. Just a day after the initial 2 murders, when everyone was shocked about all this happening, there was a video released on social media of a girl saying that she was blackmailed and her identity was compromised on Discord, which is why she harmed herself. In fact, this video was posted on Instagram. I'm here struggling to live and they come and threaten me, saying things like, I'll SWAT your house or something. They say, if you don't cut yourself, I'll send everything to your family. I'm trying to live with this fear. They constantly threaten me, saying that if I don't cut myself, then they'll do this or that. And just when you thought you had everything figured out, it turns out this video is completely fake. The person was allegedly part of the community. In fact, they tried to use this video and the murder of those 2 girls, the violent murder of those 2 girls, to try and advertise their Discord server, which they would use to extort women. The people behind these groups want to be known as evil. They want infamy. But it turns out they got a little bit more attention than what they wanted. Because according to a recorded conversation in the Discord server by one of my viewers, which translated it, which by the way, I think the viewer himself is self-snitching because he's been part of the group from a year ago, but he didn't tell me that. I had to figure it out myself. Regardless, these people are just completely mentally fucked. Let me just put it out there. According to their conversation, the guy, Nico, that is talking, said, we provided a good service and had a great time together. Recently, we've become a topic for 81 million people. The reason could be because we got a few donkeys beaten up or someone to cut their arms or legs, whatever. The loyalty video blew up on Twitter, and the news broke right when we were about to start a League of Legends stream on Kick. We were about to switch to the League of Legends stream, and suddenly I saw that we were trending on Twitter and everywhere. But what's important isn't really being famous. This is how we make our money, by blackmailing people. But clearly, it bothered a few bastards, so they made us public on Twitter. It seems our work has really gotten to some people. Those who compete with us couldn't keep up. That's why we're in this situation. Like I said, no one can intimidate or stop us. Because according to a tweet by the Minister of Internal Affairs of the Republic of Turkey, I don't know why politicians have to be on Twitter, but that's just a different day rant, our Ankara Police Department has determined that the person referred to as HZ Ibu Sahil from the administrators of the group named C31K, which is actively present on the Telegram and Discord social networking platforms, is a child's name EK and has been taken into custody. The person referred to as Arda Bateman has been determined to be a child named AT and has been taken into custody by our Istanbul Police Department. The most important thing about this whole we will not show mercy to those who try to poison our society, especially our children and youth, who are the apple to our eye with their perverted thoughts on social media. We have a score to settle with the bullies who force our children to sexually abuse, those who tend to violence against women and spread hatred and grudge. No matter which hole you hide in the cyber world, our cyber patrols, cringe, will find you one by one and bring you to justice. Now, these two people that were arrested were moderators of the C31K group, but that's on top of 3 other arrests that occurred regarding this incident. Because on October 6th, they revealed that the video involving the blackmail of a young girl, the one we talked about, was staged, but as a consequence, the girl, who was identified, was taken into protective custody and interviewed with the assistance of a psychologist, and the person responsible for spreading the video, an 18-year-old named TD, was arrested in Ankara, and prior to these arrests, 3 other individuals, TD, MEO, and FT, were also detained for their involvement with a Discord group that operated under the name Haha. I guess they won't be laughing now in prison, but cosmic irony we all love to see. Now, I have one more thing to say about this tweet, but just before I get into it, I want to say that this extortion unfortunately happens more than you would think on Discord. It's not something that is impossible to find. The issue, though, is that these groups have been operating for a while. Haha has existed for at least a year, if I recall correctly from the information that I have, and nothing happened to them until these murders happened and until people got upset. Law enforcement will move extremely slow unless there's a lot of press and pressure to speed things up. So when it comes to this stuff, as me being a YouTuber and picking ideas, either I cover this stuff and potentially ruin the investigation if there's one occurring, or I speed up the investigation. It's a coin flip that I don't want to make, which is why you don't see a lot of these videos, but it does happen quite a bit on Discord. On the bright side, though, the thing with this tweet that is extremely important that I want you to take away is that the people that were detained are children, a child named EK, a child named AT. These people are minors, and initially, there was a common misconception with a lot of these extortion groups that if you were a teenager doing this, if you were a minor, you would be invincible because you couldn't be charged by adult laws. But with this tweet, it's clear they're not showing mercy to these kids. Now, that's just Turkey, but I have heard through the grapevine that the US is maybe starting to do the same. Once there is a legal precedent, the speed that law enforcement can move is a lot quicker, so these people can get put where they deserve, in fucking jail. Despite all that, people are still angry. The fire is just too big. And with this public outrage and this focus on Discord, there was one final straw that broke the camel's back. Because it turns out during the investigation of Sami Çelik's double murder suicide, Ekol TV released a video recording that apparently was shot a year ago. And in this video, Sami is seen addressing a person. The video begins with the words, "Iqbal, I wanted to say goodbye to you in private. I am finally dying." After Çelik says that he apologizes for what he made her go through, he says, "But there's something I have to tell you. I came to kill you the day I saw you yesterday." And then he says that he has given up on it. This dude had a manifesto video from a year ago, and nothing happened. If this was reported and the Istanbul Convention was in place, this dude would be in jail and this whole entire murder would be prevented. So then the government decided to actually do something. Instead of signing back into the Istanbul Convention to protect women overall, both online and offline, on October 8th, 2024, the Minister of Justice of the Republic of Turkey made a tweet. Everything's a fucking tweet at this point. Upon the request of the Ankara Chief Public Prosecutor's Office, the Ankara First Criminal Court of Peace has ruled that all publications on the social media platform called Discord be removed from content and access to the specified URL addresses be blocked from Turkey due to the existence of sufficient suspicion that the crimes of child sexual abuse and obscenity are being committed. So to solve the problem of these femicides that are happening throughout Turkey, the government decided to ban a chat platform called Discord because apparently that will fix everything. Now, if you're a younger person, you realize how stupid this is because Discord's not all completely bad, but you need to understand that a lot of the older people in Turkey are completely misled on what Discord is. According to one of my viewers, the opinion is that the ministers think that Discord and Telegram groups are exclusive and you need to be invited to register on Discord. They assume that if you want to be on Discord, you need to have a special invite link and not just discord.com/login and then you click on the register button and then you make an account. So they assume that everyone on Discord are these incel groups that hate women. And to further explain, another viewer of mine told their dad that they banned Discord and his dad said, good thing they got rid of that harmful app. In case you're not a young person and you don't know what Discord is just a chatting app. It's exactly how you can just go on your phone and text your grandma or your grandpa or just anyone. And I think the best part about Turkey banning Discord is the fact that it actually does nothing. If you block the app, you can just use a VPN to bypass it, which allows you to still use Discord as if nothing happens. All this ban against Discord actually does is make older people feel safe. People that don't understand Discord now feel like things are safe, but nothing has actually happened. But that's my opinion on the matter, and I think it's important to see what Turkey said regarding the ban, because the details that they give paint a little bit of a different story on what's going on. So if you spend some time digging into this and you ask the question, why did Discord get banned according to Turkish authorities, you get a completely different answer. Because looking at articles, the Transport and Infrastructure Minister said that the nature of the Discord platform made it difficult for authorities to monitor and intervene when illegal or criminal content is shared. The wording around this is making me think there's something else going on. In fact, security personnel cannot go through the content. We can only intervene when users complain to us about content shared there. And the reason for the ban is apparently Discord refuses to share its own information, including IP addresses and content, with our security units, and as a result, they were forced to block access. Now, the interesting thing about this is that there's actually a case very similar to this Turkey one that happened in Brazil. They had a case of extortion communities where kids were being extorted to visit other people's houses, and then there was the resulting horrendous crimes that occurred after that, but I covered all that in a previous video, and the thing that's important about that is that Discord gave a bunch of information regarding these users to Brazil. But why at this point now is Discord not helping Turkey regarding their situation with extortion? Well, to answer that question, you need to understand how Discord works with law enforcement. But generally speaking, there is a government request portal that any government can sign into to try and get information on Discord users. You need to have a government email, you need to fill in required fields in a web form, you need to make an application to get someone's information, and you need to upload a copy of any relevant documents, so a subpoena for information or a search warrant. A very important point that they have is that they will not comply with overly broad or vague requests. In fact, the cool thing about Discord, which I would praise, but I can't anymore, they have something called transparency reports where they'll actually show you how many times law enforcement has reached out to Discord for information, and the reason why I can't praise this is because they stopped doing it in 2024. Awesome, I love not having transparency in a transparency report. But taking a look at the Q3 2023 transparency report, the important thing I want to look at is information requests. And you can see, when it comes to the United States government, Discord, they get like 1,300 requests and they give 1,200 requests. However, when we get to international government information requests, that's where things look really horrible. Argentina, 2 requests, 0 produced. Australia, 12 requests, 0 produced. Produced basically means, like, did they actually give the information? Just to make that clear. But you can see, all zeros until we get to Brazil, and that's when the whole Brazil thing was happening. Out of the total of 186 requests, only 26 were granted because of Brazil. I looked through all the reports, and out of the ones that identify specific countries, Turkey only submitted 3 reports. 0 for 3, baby. They did not get any actual information from Discord. The reason why Turkey didn't get any information is something I can only speculate on, but this could either be governments refusing to follow any basic instructions that Discord lays out, which does happen. I've dealt with police agencies that are borderline brain damaged. Or the refusal to give information might be because of mutual legal assistance treaties. Law and all that stuff is really complex. Or this could just be Discord not doing anything. I do want to point out, though, that out of all the depressing stuff I just said in the last minute or so, that haha server, the one with the extortion, has been banned from Discord, and I'm pretty sure that all the messages have been archived for the courts. But there's actually one more thing that could be the reason why Turkey didn't get any information from Discord. Discord. Because in a BBC article talking about how Discord got blocked because Discord refused to share information, the Minister of Transport and Infrastructure said that this is a completely closed system. You cannot enter and exit as you wish. This makes it sound like Turkey wanted complete control and access to Discord servers, and Discord said no. And the thing is that this is not actually that much of a reach, because there's an article by the EFF, Electronic Frontier Foundation, that talks about how Turkey is doubling down on violations of digital privacy and free expression from 2020. It turns out Turkey implemented the emergency surveillance decrees after the 2016 coup that granted the Turkish government unrestricted access to communications data without a court order, which basically means they could go into any application and get information on it, which is basically government spying. Considering this happens in 2022, it's not a far reach that Turkey was trying to get complete access to Discord to, again, fulfill their major surveillance program, which also would majorly surveil on anyone that criticizes the Turkish government, which again, as a reminder, does not comply with Discord's guidelines of overly broad or vague requests. I feel like this is an issue of Turkey asking for everything and Discord saying, follow our fucking rules, you idiot. And in terms of Turkish government trying to spy on you and censorship in general, if you look at Turkey's Freedom on the Net 2023 score, it's 30 out of 100. It's actually classified Turkey as a country not free. And just to give you an example, Turkey banned Wikipedia for almost 3 years. They eventually ended the ban, and the reason why they banned Wikipedia is because, you know, Wikipedia, that basically tells you everything that has ever happened, refused to delete articles critical of Turkey's government. Now, getting back to Turkey not being free on the internet, I'm going to have this article linked in the description because it is absolutely ginormous. Looking at Score B1, limits on content. It turns out during the February 2023 earthquakes, the Turkish government blocked Twitter for 8 hours, ostensibly to combat disinformation about those incidents. What disinformation are you going to have from an earthquake? But the Turkish government blocked Twitter for 8 hours during an emergency, which hindered emergency rescue efforts as people have been using Twitter to try and call for help following the disaster. And the craziest thing I've seen on this article is Score B5 are online sources of information controlled or manipulated by the government or other powerful actors to advance a particular political interest. They got a score 1 out of 4. When you hear this you're gonna straight up just, I don't even know at this point. Ahead of the May 2023 general elections, pro-government disinformation was rampant online. The president shared a misleading video on social media depicting the CHP candidate standing alongside wanted terrorists. That'll show them. And an independent media report found that the AKP paid $10,000 to an Egyptian company to develop and promote the video. And it turns out, according to numerous reports, they have revealed that the ruling AKP party has enlisted an army of trolls, numbering around 8,000 individuals as of 2023 to manipulate online discussions, drive particular agendas, and combat government critics on social media. Oh, hi, honey, you just got home from work. How was your day at work? Oh, man, it was tough. I had to talk teenagers online, but thank goodness the government's paying for it. So anyways, that's all I got in terms of the Turkey ban, but I just want to say that Discord has to get their shit together. This is only one of these extortion communities that's based in Turkey. I know 4 communities off the top of my head that are based in the US that do this exact same thing, and nothing has happened. So whether Discord is going to be proactive or reactive, we'll have to see. Make sure to kiss your mama. Bye-bye.
When you hear about cybercrime, you usually think of ransomware. You see all the news and headlines of another company or organization having all their files encrypted and their data breached. The thing is, no one talks about stealer malwares, and I mean information-stealing malware. When a hacker wants to collect as much information as they can, things like passwords, credit card information, bank details, any data that they can get their hands on. This is what one of those info stealers looks like. This is the back-end panel and dashboard for Redline Stealer. And Redline Stealer is one of the most prolific and common stealers out there. But don't take my word for it. I got to chat with one of the security researchers that tracks and monitors information stealer malware like this and how it's distributed across the cybercrime ecosystem and the dark web.
So my name is Eric Clay. I work at Flare, and I do a lot of different things at Flare, but one of the big things I do is security research, and specifically research on info stealer malware. I think it's one of the most underappreciated cyber threats today. Right now we see about 400,000 new stealer logs being distributed across Telegram every single day.
And that is a ton of stealer logs. And Eric told me Redline Stealer is one of the top dogs. And it's interesting because they use kind of a particular business model.
Yeah, it's really interesting. So the main one we see is Redline. We see Redline a lot. I think Redline has been the king for a long time. I think you did a video very recently on Raccoon Stealer panel, which I personally think has the best branding out of any of the info stealers by far. The whole ecosystem here is fascinating. So you have what we call MaaS vendors, malware as a service vendors, who essentially set up Telegram channels, and it's like a fully automated purchasing process. So they set up a Telegram channel, and it says, you know, pay me $300 a month in crypto. They also do like lifetime licenses, although when you actually look at the code, like the backend code, it's not necessarily a lifetime license. It's like, I think it goes till 2026, so it's a little bit of a scam. Not overly surprising given the marketplace. And then, so other contractors will essentially buy this. It comes with the command and control infrastructure, it comes with the panel, and then they can start distribution. Typically, you see distribution through things like malicious advertisements on social media sites, emails, and then cracked software downloads are probably the big three. I don't actually know if I ever answered or directly answered your question. So the main one we see is Redline. Redline's been the major dealer for several months now, but then we also see some Raccoon, VDAR, Planet Stealer. There's like 50 of them.
But those are just the big players in the industry, the ones with the well-known name. There are even more.
But then you also even see, like, we've seen a couple of different open source dealers, where people literally like open source info stealer malware and kind of like forking and like building their own stealers off of that. And then there's like these little niche players. So there's one that recently made the news called macOS Stealer, where it's actually specifically designed to steal credentials and data from like Mac devices, whereas the vast majority of stealers are all focused on Windows and Linux. You really get a feel for the market dynamics because they're actually charging, I think it's like $1,000 a month or something for macOS Stealer, so it's like 2 or 3 times the price of everything else. Part of that price too may be, you know, a lot of companies use Macs, where a lot of like people for like gaming and like personal stuff use PCs, so there may be like this element of corporate targeting there, right? Like typically a corporate environment or a stealer log with corporate credentials is going to be like more valuable than a stealer log with just a bunch of like personal stuff, although Steam accounts go for quite a bit. The thing is, like, because you have a stealer that's like specifically focused on Mac OS, it can be really, really useful to like kind of spread for corporate infections versus personal.
And it's worth noting that info stealer malware isn't using some elite hacker zero-day exploit or trying to use some vulnerabilities against some server-side technology. It's honestly just a bit more personal. With information stealers, hackers go after your identity.
Probably worth emphasizing too, we see the vast majority of info stealer infections and stealer logs being distributed are not targeted at companies. They're targeted at people, bank accounts, and Steam accounts specifically. Steam accounts because people buying gaming accounts are valuable to begin with. And then you can also like steal items off of gaming accounts and sell them for real money. It's not necessarily easy. Well, hacking into like Steam accounts and CS:GO accounts, people tend to be a little bit less savvy on like securing gaming accounts because it's just not something as intuitive as like, oh, I should probably maximize my security settings for my retirement accounts and personal bank accounts.
All this information could end up being used later for blackmail or extortion or even social engineering scams.
When you look through enough Stealer logs, one thing that becomes very clear to you is there's a lot of value in having a lot of people's passwords. There's a lot of value in being able to see all of the passwords one person has used across all of the different websites because some patterns usually become very clear. But there's also the aspect is like when threat actors are planning to attack a company or they find somebody that has a lot of Stealer logs and maybe the 2FA, maybe the session cookies aren't active anymore, they've expired, so that part's not very useful. But what they can still do with it is they're going to have the person's form fill data, typically if they've saved like answers to secret questions or their address, etc. on their browser. So you're going to get the form fill data. You're going to get all of the different websites the person visits, essentially, because you're going to have every website that the person has saved credentials to. It really becomes very easy to socially engineer when you have a user's email address, password, all of the websites they have accounts on, their home address, their mother's maiden name, and all of their credit card number, and all of the form fill data. So I think that's the other part that's really underappreciated here is like the social engineering potential of the amount of information that a threat actor can get from a Stealer log. In terms of like impacting an individual's life, it can be really, really significant, or even impacting a company if it's used as a vector to get initial access to corporate systems, etc. It can be really, really impactful to that company as well. I personally suspect some of the help desk attacks, like, I don't want to name any specific companies, but I personally suspect if you looked up some of the companies with the help desk attacks, you find that employees had info stealers, because again, it's much easier to social engineer a help desk if you have all of the credentials, one user, all of the websites they visit, all of their form fill data.
And one of the spookiest things about info stealers is that with all the captured data, hackers can usually bypass multi-factor authentication.
I think credentials are still a major weak point for companies, and I think too many companies are like, oh, well, we have two-factor authentication, oh, we do credential resets every 6 months, like, we're good, that's all we need to do, and when it's really still a very, very significant significant problem. A lot of the Stealer panels, like, they actually have search features. So it's not just like threat actors are just getting these log files and they have to like look through all of these and be like, oh, this one's useful. Like it'll literally either call out and say like, oh, this one has a bank account, this one has a Steam account, this one has whatever. Or they can search and they can say like, I want to look for Stealer logs that have SSO accounts in them because that's like really valuable to me and I can try to hack into companies.
And one other thing to wonder about is how are these Stealer logs getting shared between hackers? How is this malware getting spread or distributed across the cybercrime ecosystem?
The other interesting thing we've seen is we actually have seen some initial access brokers who buy Stealer logs in bulk, especially for this purpose. Like, we think most threat actors who are interacting with Stealer logs are probably looking for like those consumer bank accounts, etc., because the technical companies look more challenging. But there's definitely this subset of more sophisticated actors who are specifically buying Stealer logs in order to launch attacks against companies. So initial access brokers, like typically they'll sell to one client. So they'll hack into a company and they'll sell that access to one client. Stealer logs, the way they're distributed is typically they're distributed in like zip files on Telegram channels. And in a lot of cases, they're distributed on Telegram channels with thousands of people in them, if they're public Telegram channels. And so there's also this element of like, if there's a Stealer log that has working credentials, which most of them do, they do get, like once the infection happens, they make it to the Telegram channels like fairly quickly. There is this kind of element where there's probably going to be multiple people trying to break into this individual's life across all of the different credentials, and those threat actors are going to have varying degrees of sophistication. Majority probably not very sophisticated, but you might get a few who are much more so. And so I think that matters a lot too, because if you are the victim of an info stealer infection and that log happens to end up in a public Telegram channel, which I think about 60% roughly do, you're probably going to have people trying to hack you like fairly quickly. I think the other interesting thing here is the private Telegram channels. And if I was in the audience, I'd ask, well, why are they private and why are they public? Why aren't they all just private? They can monetize them more easily. And so I always compare it to like the free samples you get at a grocery store. Like you go in and they have like little cinnamon sticks and they want to sell you like the whole box of cinnamon sticks. It's Costco free samples, except for cybercrime. And so they give them out in the public channels to prove like, oh, I have unique logs that are high value from all of my infections. By the way, come join my private channel. We'll only invite 10 people. And it's $500 a month. It's exclusive, but more importantly, it's monthly recurring revenue. Just like SaaS companies are valued based on how much monthly recurring revenue they have.
And here's here's the thing. Eric works at Flare. And you know, I am a huge fan of Flare. I love what they do. I think it's incredible, all the visibility and capability that they have. But I really wanted to know, how did they track info stealers and threats like these?
So at Flare, what we're really trying to do is kind of preemptively identify the top ways that a threat actor would break into a company and enable that company to remediate those. So Stealer logs are one of our most used features. It's a really, really big area of focus from us as a company, but then we also look at other things. That we look at ransomware logs for file disclosures, we look at public GitHub repositories for secrets disclosures, leaky cloud buckets, typical your traditional leaked credentials. I think we have like 14 or 15 billion. We try to take the attacker's perspective and tell you everything that could leave you vulnerable before an attacker finds it, essentially, is the idea. Because when you see 400,000 new logs a day, like that's a massive number of infections. And especially if you Flare has a database of tens of millions of these, and so you can search through them and you can find out if your company's been infected and remediate that. But when you actually search through them and you see how many have like SSO credentials or like access to hospitals or like whatever you might think, you'd be like, wow, seems like a really big issue, right? And I think that there's a few things that are like preventing this from necessarily getting on teams' radars. Number one is when the media refers to it, a lot of times, because the media isn't always like incredibly like detailed in terms of like how tech savvy they are, it'll say credentials. Everybody knows credentials have been around for decades. Like this is a known thing. Like, oh, I signed up for a website, the website got breached, now my password that I use for that website is out, I just need to change my passwords. And so I don't think people have quite come to grips with like the extent of it, because I think a lot of the way it's reported on isn't necessarily easy to understand exactly what they're talking about. I think the second thing is like, if you have an info stealer infection, there's not necessarily an actualization. Like ransomware, boards are concerned about it, executives are concerned about it, it's in the news every day. You know, like a few years ago, I couldn't get gas for like 2 weeks on the East Coast because the Colonial Pipeline was down. And so there's like real life impacts that a lot of people have experienced, and if they haven't experienced it personally, they've seen it on the news 24/7 for years. I think with info stealers, it's a bit more of the means to get access to systems that can be used for the actualization of a crime, like a data breach or a ransomware attack. So it's a bit more under the radar, because there's not necessarily like this direct impact that people can perceive unless they've been infected themselves and had a lot of their accounts hacked. I think the one thing people might underestimate is when an attacker decides I want to attack this company, like how many tools they have at their disposal to do recon on that company with. And so doing the recon before the attacker does is really, really good, knowing kind of where all of your weak points are, knowing what leaked credentials employees have out there, knowing which employees have leaked the same credential across a bunch of different leaks, knowing which dealer logs may have access to like your single sign-on environment that you're using for your whole company. Like that stuff is really, really important.
So if we know that this threat of information stealer malware is out there, how do you protect yourself? Is there any way that we can prevent this? Well, honestly, it boils down to just kind of being smart on your computer.
I also think people underestimate how fast the cybercrime ecosystem evolves. Cybercrime, even in the past 3 years, has evolved dramatically. You know, there's a certain country now that doesn't really arrest cybercriminals, and it's quite large and has a fairly sophisticated tech ecosystem. Yeah, there's just the evolution of the cybercrime ecosystem has been very, very rapid. We've seen kind of this increasing level of like role specialization, commoditization of cybercrime, and I think that's one of the key factors that's leading to this huge increase in attacks across the board. And then also Telegram. Telegram is like one of these weird, interesting things where you wouldn't think that, like, well, why would Telegram lead to an increase in cyber attacks? It's like the social media for cyber criminals in a lot of cases, and a lot of normal people too. But a lot of cyber criminals do use Telegram very specifically. A lot of info stealers will actually self-terminate if they infect a country that's in the CIS, the Coalition of Independent States, which is like the Russian-aligned country. So if it's like Kazakhstan or Belarus or Russia, it just deletes itself out of the system, never steals anything. So I think that's just a very interesting fact to learn. And it's not all info stealers. I think there's a couple where they don't self-terminate in CIS countries, but the vast majority do. The second one I was going to say is also revolves around self-terminating, but a lot of info stealers will actually self-terminate if, like, after the infection. So they'll, like, steal everything, package it up into a stealer log, communicate with the command and control infrastructure, send it out, and then self-terminate on the machine to make it harder to track, which is also very, very interesting to me. I think that there's, like, a level of sophistication that we haven't necessarily seen with like other malware variants, and even going back 3 or 4 years ago. I would say don't save things in the browser. That's like the big one right away. It's like don't save any passwords in your browser, because that is the main value the stealer is getting. I would recommend people use a password manager. I would recommend people not download necessarily cracked software just like on their home computer. not share computers with kids. I can tell you, I've seen a lot of Stealer logs. I do look through them from time to time to even do some responsible disclosures. And I've seen a lot of Stealer logs where somebody downloaded, they have like a bunch of corporate credentials, and then it's like Roblox. And it's like, I know exactly what happened here. Not sharing computers with other family members, especially where you have like corporate credentials or financial data is also really important.
Now, with all that said, I hope you're a little bit more educated, and I hope you don't forget about Stealer logs or information stealer malware. Cybercrime isn't all about ransomware or denial of service attacks against companies taking stuff down, not all those elite exploits and hacks. Sometimes it's just about getting access to information.
And a lot of security teams, when you talk to CISOs, and even when you talk to like fairly technical security teams kind of across the spectrum, a lot of security teams aren't thinking about this. It's not on their radar. So I think it's something really important to draw attention to. You have hundreds of different channels that are distributing Stealer logs across Telegram, and then there's also a dark web marketplace. So the whole thing is just absolutely fascinating.
Don't forget, there is a whole nother corner piece of that underground marketplace and dark web ecosystem and enterprise that is a boon for Stealer logs.
Yeah, it still shocks me when I talk to CISOs, like CISOs, big companies, and I'm like, oh yeah, we don't look at anything like that. Like, it's not an area of concern for us. Like, how is this not an area of concern for you?
Something for you to know and something to help you stay safe. With that said, if you haven't already, please seriously go take a look at Flare. There's a link in the video description. Genuinely one of my favorite companies to work with, and just an incredible resource for telemetry, intelligence, and knowing your own attack surface and making sure the attackers don't know as much of your attack surface. Just phenomenal stuff for security research. And seriously, special thank you to Eric for joining me in this video, and special thank you to you for tuning in and watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. I wanted to kind of go back to our roots for a little bit and hopefully do something fun. I wanted just another exploratory, discovery-based, weird journey and safari ride, trying to see what strange, shady shenanigans and just wild, wacky hijinks are out there on the dark web. So I thought maybe a fine jumping off point for us is the Tor scam list. And yes, this is a real, genuine thing. This is the Tor scam list, a Tor hidden service or V3 onion URL and address that lists, catalogs, and archives all of the other scams that might be found on other Tor hidden services out there on the dark web. And this page is a little bit wild. It says, hey, dear hackers and scammers, I know that every day you send hundreds of megabytes and you try to destroy my site, but the only thing you can do is to destroy one link. I'm gonna fight with you forever, and I effing hate you. DDoS can stop us for a while, but you won't stop the whole community. F you. All right, there's a certain tone for this webpage here, and they've got quite an email address there. Alrighty. Look, I like this narrative here. Look, this is just a little bit odd and funny to me. Hello! Some time ago in my stupidity, I tried to make several transactions on the dark internet. And you know how many times I was deceived? 6 freaking times. I think that is already too much. That's why I created this website, so that you can check out the product or service that you're about to buy is really true or just another scam. The dark web is a tool to be safe, anonymous and hidden on the web, where the government don't see everything you do. So before you order or buy, take a minute and check my list. If the Onion Insider person is listed on Scam Link's list, then that person is about to steal your money, and you should think twice whether you want to lose your money. What if, and this is just a conspiracy theory, the scam list site is also a scam? I'm kidding, I don't know, I don't. All right, so let's go see what is on our Scam Links list. And, oh, okay, there's quite a bit here. Now, I know I don't want to take this as some jovial kind of joke and gimmick here. It is a bit ironic to me, though. On the Tor hidden services in the dark web, there is a code of conduct, sort of ethical sportsmanship in what may very well be cybercrime and just deceit and deception and lies and scams. These are the top scams, and there's a lot here. Oh, the smartest money on the deep web, Horizon Store, PayPal World, Drugs Empire, of course. Got that, okay? Apple World, Cash God, and Money Tree. I like those. Scrolling down, there are a hefty amount of Bitcoin scams. There's no way this is all exhaustive, comprehensive list. There's 1,000% more than that. Credit card scams. Oh, Bitcards and Cash Cards are in here a lot. They made a name for themselves. These are all like clones and duplicates of each other. Imperial Market. There's drug scams, like weed me. Financial scams. Look at this. Buy real money. How could you maybe not have had a clue or indication that that might not be legitimate? Escrow, guns, market. Oh, the market one I think would be interesting because I do want to sort of deconflict that with other things. But this is where I wanted to have some fun here with the hacker scams. It might be just kind of fun also to just like Control F for anything that has the word hack in it. Hack databases store, that one might be interesting. BitHacker, Western Union hack. Okay, and then the hacker scam. So let's use this as our focus. What do you got for me, black hackers? Let me go ahead and copy this URL. Oh, look, the page is loading. Yeah, thanks for that. What is this? We sell stolen Bitcoin wallets. Hire a hacker for mobile phones, email accounts, and social media. Find a hacker, acronym FA. FA is a hacker brokerage service providing a secure and confidential environment for individuals and businesses to hire professional hackers. Let me make sure this is completely clear. This is not real. This is a scam. This is illegitimate. Look at the design of this website. Like absolutely awful, like bootstrap buttons with a bad JPEG background. And look at what the most pixelated pictures you could use here. The Kali Linux logo, just like a gross shield on a little mobile phone, and the anonymous mask. Of course, Gmail accounts. Gmail, Edison, and Yandex are our most popular cloud-based hacking service. Yeah, I don't doubt it. I'm sure that's in high demand. You can barely read this page. It's black text on like a black and gray background. Here's how to buy Bitcoin over a little video here. Oh, this is like Storyblok stock footage. I recognize that. Hey, I know those guys. You can't even read this. FA was established in 2015 as the ClearNet's first hacker handler service. However, we still operate our original dark web website, and you can visit it here. But there's more. There's like DLC. There's extra content. To visit any dark web website, you must use a Tor browser and you should use a VPN service. I don't know. That's always like a hot conversation because you just centralize your own exit node, which is not really good for you. Impossible to read orange on blue background. By handling every aspect of the contract, you're shielded from quality, legal, and economic mishaps that are far too common on the dark web. Yeah, except this is a scam too. The stock picture is so good. Like you Googled clip art, like PowerPoint, like filler images. What's with all these pictures? This is a long web page. We're at the end now, but that's a lot to it. What are the terms and conditions for a known hacking scam? Initial contact, please use the secure contact form. Okay. Oh, you'll get a response within a few hours. That's fast customer service. That's a high CSAT score. Escrow, all on active op. Please don't interfere or interact technically or otherwise with the target. Well, you know, I guess I can understand that. What am I talking about? This whole thing's fake. Oh, that other website is down. That's not real. Okay, I guess that closes that out. I do want to review the price list, though. How much will this run us? Prices are based in United States dollars and payable in cryptocurrency. Thanks for the Google currency converter there. $500 a week for iPhone remote viewing, Android remote viewing, SIM swap, not all countries available. iPhone remote destruction. Well, I think these are like a couple $100. GPS tracking. Again, obviously, none of this is real. This is a total scam. Identity trace. Real identity from internet identity. You get their, like, IP address. Polymorphic viruses. $1,500. Crypto locker leaking ransomware. $3,000. Oh, okay. Take it off the shelf. Such a joke. The local Bitcoin ATM. Dealing with infidelity. What does that mean? Keeping a secret. Edward Snowden. For beginners, there is the About Us section. They link to NordVPN. Okay, ClearNet address, that's fine. Hidden Wiki. Let me go look at our dealing with infidelity. Psychologytoday.com. Where is this taking me and why? What? Why is this linked on this webpage? Hey, you know what? Get tested. Investigate your legal rights. Reach out to others for help. Get therapy. Seek help. Oh, you know what? I follow. The logic here must be, hey, I want to cyberstalk my cheating significant other. And, okay, that makes sense to me, but it's so stupid, so, like, unintelligible. We're moving on. Let me get back to our next hacker scam with the dark web hackers. Welcome to the dark web hackers. Have you tried to buy hacking services in the dark web before? Not happy with the results? Only empty promises, but no one getting the job done? Hey, Billy Mays here, back with... You should try Vladimir and George, the dark web's most trusted hackers for getting things done. Unlike others, our prices are not the cheapest, but if we can't do a job, you will get a full refund. Why would you lead with unlike others, our prices are expensive and not affordable. Oh, here's Vladimir with this cool little hacker hoodie all in the dark there. I'm a technical expert at dark web hackers. Here you can find a list of my services. Minimum prices will be $600. Well, that's okay. Yeah, that's a little bit more expensive than everything that we saw on the other page. George! Hey, George! You don't look as elite as Vladimir. Hello, my name is George. My hacking skills are not as perfect as Vladimir's, but I'm really good with social engineering. I really like messing with people. I don't care what you want to do to... If there's something I can't do, then Vladimir will help and teach me for next time. Wow, he's learning. He's a budding cyber criminal. Product destroying someone's life. Vladimir, that's really that's your flagship product? That's the, like, MVP service? Jeez, wait a second, what the Got a couple other things in his listing here, but that's it. That's the end of the website. I cannot scroll any further. Oh, and I do want to take another quick look at these market scams. Looks like a lot of Apple sort of, fake things. Marketplace, Amazon Warriors, Clay Counts, Dark Amazon. Oh, is Dark Amazon still up? I thought that was hysterical. I always wanted to make a video about that, but I don't think it was up when I tried to. Oh, no, that's down too. All right, not much more on the dark web hackers. How about our finale here with Hacker Group? Let me take a gander. Oh, I feel like we've seen this one before, or at least like the design and layout. It's all like repeat, just again, farmed out material for spam spun up onion links. Welcome to Hacking Services Area. We are Hacker Group, a group of hackers trained to perform hacking services. Okay, scam offering, email hacking, Facebook hacking, Twitter hacking. Hey, you gotta update, go with the times. That's X now, it's Twix. Grades change. Hey, yeah, that's how you get to the youngins. Debt clearing, IP tracking, search engines. What does that mean? What are you offering? What is the product there? Do you want to change the results of a search engine? Remove an undesired result or maybe change the result position? I don't know if you can tamper. I mean, I guess, are you buying SEO like sponsored ads on Google? Hacking course. Do you want to learn everything about hacking to be an insecurity? Wow, so elite, so cool. Offer you the best course on the market. I want to get that hacker course. Hey, add it to the academy, buddy. Gentle reminder, this is a scam. This is not real. This is totally fake. Course is online and individual. Spit into 25 themes. Goodness gracious. Will I be able to hack a Facebook or email account after this? Hey, what's the incentive? Am I going to get a job placement? What about this cybercrime boot camp? Oh, ooh, the syllabus here. Look at that. VB.net. Yeah, clutch. Good stuff. I can't poke fun. You know, if it works, it works. If it even works, it's all a scam. Introduction to Deface. Website hacking, SQL injection, XSS. Good thing you do get to learn HTML, though. Absolutely need that in the hacking course. All right, what else do we have here? Oh, their About Us section is wild. Whoa, absolutely calling out the name. Hacker Group was founded in 2005 by a Colombian called Vito Carlos Gil, who decided to offer services for email hacking. Just gonna put it out there. Throw them under the bus. Scammers make your presence known. Why should you hire a hacker? If you really want any hacking services, either to get a password, spy or tracking a person, change your grades, or corporative website, and any other thing, you can't do it by yourself. A common mistake many people make is thinking that hacking is like a cooking recipe, which consists in following some instructions step by step. Yeah, it's just a cookbook. It's just a pampered chef hacking. The only truth is that everything is fake. I'm sorry, I'm having too much fun with these. I like this style video. This is the reason, because you need to hire a hacker. Qualified person who, without any loss of time, is going to solve your problems with efficiency. But of course, all work must be paid. Yep, give us the money. All right, this is just wild. This is just silly. This is just dumb. Those are some of the Tor scam lists and hacker scams over on the dark web. Oh, wait a second, there's so much other stuff on the Tor scam list. There's Torch scams. I think that's one of the search engines, right? Wikipedia scams, like HDWiki, HiddenWiki, other scams. This list will grow with your help. We are dark families, so we need to help ourselves. Oh, and look, this is like community driven. You can add a new scam or submit a scam. Hey, if you've been scammed, help everyone not to fool themselves in the future. Just submit an email. Oh, and you can report false listings. Look at this. If you're a site owner and your site's listed here, you probably deserve it. But mistakes can happen. If you're not really a scam, and you're not scamming me to say that you're a scam, I can take you off my scam list that might not also be a scam. Now hey, I don't mean to make light of this. I know real, genuine people have been scammed trying to find weird stuff on the dark web, and that's not a joke, but there is still just a little bit of irony to me in that whole idea and premise. So I hope you enjoyed a little safari ride digging into the biggest scams and hacking services on the dark web. Hey, if you haven't already, please do take a look at Flare. There's a link in the video description, and seriously, it's an incredible thing to keep tracking your identity, your exposed attack surface, and what threats are out there and where that risk might be. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do all those YouTube algorithm things like comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.